Hello. Yeah, so today was the UK marfan meet at Southampton General Hospital. So yeah, and me and John both went today to it, and it was really good, really informative. They gave like some conferences where they had specialist doctors and geneticists and things coming, like giving talks to us and answering questions and things. So that was really good. I learned a couple of new things about marfan syndrome and things today, so that's always good. Because usually I think I am pretty schooled up on it, because I was born with it, my dad had it and my nan had it, so it's been a big part of my family all my life, so I am pretty schooled up on it, but every now and again I still learn something new about it. So it's always good to update your knowledge of it, and now where they're finding new variations in the genes and things like that, they found different fibrillin that are affected, things like that, and so I guess each one of those different genetic variations would cause slightly different treatments and symptoms, and I don't know, that sort of thing, I guess. So it's always good keeping your knowledge fresh about it, which is why I think these little marfan meets and the conferences and stuff like that are always really, really good, and I think that they're really important, and we do need to have more of them. And also we do need to have more interaction between marfan patients as well, to share personal experiences of marfan syndrome, because we can share medical information, and find out medical information quite easily, but what it's like to live with marfan syndrome, that's the bit you can only find out from someone who lives with it, so I think it is important that we have more meetups between patients. But yeah, so today we got a lot of reading material, a lot of pamphlets and leaflets. We got some from the Marfan Foundation, which are a US based charity, but they are starting to do a lot more work in the UK and a lot more work with the UK charities, which is really good, because it's good to compare notes, isn't it? So but yeah, we've got a booklet about the Marfan Foundation and about their charity and what they do, some interesting like paperwork here. This one's about genetic testing and Marfan syndrome, so it's got all the information in there about that, which I'm going to be reading later, because I am interested in getting genetic testing, because I've not been genetically tested or genetically diagnosed. I've been clinically diagnosed, so I would find it very interesting to find out which of my fibrillin, which of my genes are affected, because I don't really know which gene is affected in my family. I don't really know. So it'd be interesting to find that out. So yeah, that's really good. And all this information you can find on their website. So their website is, if I can find that website, I had it a minute ago, where did I put it? It's probably in one of the booklets somewhere. Marfan.org. So if you go to marfan.org, there, or Google Marfan's Foundation, that might be easier. But yeah, all the information and all booklets and stuff like that are available on there. So just go on there and have a look. But yeah, another booklet we got from them is this one, Physical Activity Guidelines, which is, I think, really important, especially for children with Marfan syndrome, because a lot of the time there are parents that don't have the Marfan syndrome but their children do, or people that have been newly diagnosed and things, and they don't fully understand yet what they can and can't do, and it can be really worrying and stuff. So these guides are really helpful, and also these are really helpful to give to schools and things. So if you have a child going to school, giving it to their PE teacher, or to the teachers, so they know what activities your child can and cannot do. It's really, really interesting. They've got all about different sports that you can and can't do with Marfan syndrome, but yeah, they've all sorts of information, different types of exercise, yeah, so that is really helpful information. Again, you can find that on their website. Also, another great thing I like that the Marfan's Foundation are doing is these important information cards. So it's this little card, it's like an emergency alert card. Hopefully that's not backwards on the screen for you, because it is for me. But yeah, but this is an emergency sort of alert card, and it's got all information about Marfan syndrome on there and how to treat a Marfan syndrome patient, all sorts of info there. It's got some stuff about symptoms of aortic dissection, and stuff like that, so that's all really helpful. And it's got this handy little bit here that you can fill out, which would help if I have it up the right way, which has, you put your name, emergency contact, phone number, physician name, physician's phone number, the medications you take, and it's got a little tick box here where it says Marfan syndrome and related disorder. So obviously if you've got Marfan syndrome, you tick that. If you've got related disorder, you tick that one. Or if you've got both, you can tick both, but yeah, that is really handy, in that you can just fill that out and keep that in your wallet or in your pocket, and if you have an emergency or an aortic dissection or something like that, then this is on hand, to give paramedics or anyone else, like friends or family that you may be with, information that could help potentially save your life. So that is really handy. and I think these might be available on their website again. I think you can email them and ask them to send you these. I'm not sure, but yeah, check it out. Really handy thing to have. Also, you could, what I use is an ice dog tag bracelet, not bracelet, ice dog tag necklace, with my medical information on it, which is really useful. You can get bracelets as well, wristbands, all that kind of thing. So I think that is definitely important for us because of the potential of aortic dissections, aneurysms, you know, and all the other heart issues. So yeah, very important. So yeah, that's the Marfan's Foundation. The information we got from them, that was really handy. We also got a bit of information from the Marfan Trust, Guide to Marfan Syndrome, and again, all this information you can get from their website. You can email them and ask them for information booklets like this, and they will send them to you. But this one is a Guide to Marfan Syndrome. Their website is www.marfantrust.org, and they're also on Facebook and Twitter, so just go look them up. Hopefully, again, that's not backwards, but it probably is because my phone is a bit weird like that. But yeah, this is, you know, obviously information about the condition, you know, all that sort of thing. You know, so it's very handy to have. And then I picked this one up mainly for myself, really, because I'm having spinal issues at the moment with my lower spine, and I've sort of been talking to doctors about dural ectasia and whether I could have that, and I picked this up for myself, really. But there you go, dural ectasia in Marfan syndrome. And this one was written by Dr. Anne Childs and Dr. Nick Bunce, I think that is pronounced, I could be wrong there. But Dr. Anne Childs was at the Marfan meet today giving a talk. She is a geneticist who specialises in Marfan syndrome. So yeah, she's always really informative about it, and she's really helpful, and you know, she's always answering questions and helping people out with it and stuff. So yeah, that is really, I just like the picture on the front as well, you know, it's a pretty cool picture. It's like an x-ray. I'm fascinated by x-ray pictures and things. I'm a bit weird. But yeah, dural ectasia, it's got all the info in there. I know a little about dural ectasia, but not much, to be honest. So this is going to be really helpful for me to read and learn a bit more about it. So yeah, that's that one. And then we've got, they've also done psychosocial aspects of Marfan syndrome, information for child therapists and child physiologists. Some of these words I have trouble pronouncing. I know what they mean, it's just I'm not very good at pronouncing these long words. But yeah, that one is, I think that's all about, again, a lot of, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. a lot of different info. I've got to read up on this one a bit more, but yeah, you know, this just shows you how much literature they have about Marfan syndrome and all the different things that go along with it. But yeah, this is another one of their leaflets. Basically, this is about the Marfan Trust charity and what they do to help raise awareness and money, and what they do with that money that they raise and things like that. And they've got a little bit in here that if you want to fill that out to donate, you can do. You can also go to their website and donate through their website. The same as the Marfan's Foundation, you can donate through their website as well. But yeah, it's all really interesting information. So definitely go to, if you get a chance to, go to one of these Marfan meets. Definitely go to it, especially if you're newly diagnosed. You can learn so much from them, and also sometimes it helps put your mind at ease about some things. Because myself, I've found that if I have a problem, if I don't know what is causing that problem, I worry more and I start to get anxious, and then I'll start to catastrophize, like, oh, you know, what is this chest pain? Is it just a pulled muscle? Am I having a heart attack? You know, when it's probably just I've got indigestion. You know, when you've got a condition like Marfan syndrome, you do get a lot of odd pains here and there, and sometimes it's nothing, it is just indigestion, or it is just a pulled muscle, or it's just growing pains, or a random ache because you've overdone it, you know. And sometimes it could be something more serious, and it does worry you because you think, oh, hang on, do I need to go to hospital for this one, or can I just lay in bed for a day and relax and it'll go away on its own, you know. So when you have a name for your ailment, you know, okay, I'm getting this problem, that is because of this, so I know what I have to do to solve this problem, if I'm making sense. That's the way I feel about it anyway. I don't know if anyone else feels the same. But yeah, I definitely feel less anxious when I have a name for my problem, because once I have a name for it, I have a stepping stone to sorting the problem. Yeah, I don't think I'm making much sense, but yeah. So yeah, definitely if you're newly diagnosed, or even if you've had, you know, like me, had Marfan syndrome since birth and it's run in your family for generations, still go to it, because there are some things that you may not know. You may think that you're completely schooled up on it, like me. I think that I'm quite schooled up, but every now and again I do learn a new thing, and you know, so I think it definitely is, these things are important. But yeah, some other stuff my partner, he learnt today from, because he went into a little talk, little gathering talk with the family members and carers of the Marfan patients. He was talking to them about clothing and shoes, and you know, because Marfan patients tend to be a little bit stretched and a little bit tall and very long limbs and very long fingers and hands, and you know, and very big feet and whatnot. And also we need a lot of support for our ankles and things with shoes, and for arch support and stuff like that as well. And sometimes it can be hard to find all that in a shoe and get that in the correct size and correct fit for your feet when you have Marfan syndrome. I mean, I have had a lot of trouble with shoes and clothes, but he was speaking to them today and he got some information about shoes and clothes, which I'll share with you now. So the other marfan patients that might watch this, they can use this information. Here, he's written it down. His handwriting can be a little bit tricky for me to read sometimes, so bear with me. Shoes from podiatry at Southampton Hospital. So
yeah, I'll explain these. I'll come in, but I'm topless. I don't want people to see my boobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really hot here. We're melting. So
yeah.
basically, you can get shoes on prescription from podiatry at the Southampton Hospital. They mainly do it for the teenagers and children, and they're mainly corrective shoes.
I remember having them when I was a kid. I had boots made for me, corrective ones,
right.
And I hated them. I must admit, I hated them because they were a horrible colour. They were like a horrible salmony pink colour. So I'm hoping that they have kind of got a few more different colours and styles.
Yeah.
Now,
there is,
I think they probably do have,
There is a medical shoe company called Pedro, spelled P-I-D-R-O, and their shoes are available
on the NHS.
On the NHS, like prescription glasses, but they are prescription shoes for feet that are not in the spectrum of normal sizes.
Yeah, so basically they will cover the cost of these specially made shoes,
by that,
which is really cool, which I'm very interested in that, so I'm going to look more into that myself.
There is a shoe shop in one of the roads in our city which caters for people of any size. You can order the shoe and they will fit your shoe like they would a suit.
Yeah, Bedford Place shoe shop.
Yeah, the Bedford Place is where the shoe shop is located, but I didn't get the name of the shop.
Yeah.
There is a company in Scotland called John Inglis, spelled I-N-G-L-I-S, and they make special shoes for extra large or odd shaped feet. They deliver all over the country and they have a return policy, so you send them the measurements and diameter of your feet and they build a shoe to those preferences. They send it to you, you try it on. If it fits, you send them a check. If not, you send it back and explain why, and then they sort it out.
Yeah.
They also do insoles for normal shoes, and I'm not sure if they still do it, but one of the people said, I believe, that you can get shoes adjusted, but I think it must be shoes that they have made.
Yeah, but as well here it's got about
ASOS
clothing. Now, is that a website? Yeah.
I think it's an online shop, but it's for all sorts of odd shapes.
So if you're big and tall.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
all sorts of odd shapes.
Those are all good things to look into.
But they do jeans mainly.
Yeah.
Like trousers.
That's cool, because I had to stop wearing jeans because I was finding it really hard to find them in my size, because if I bought them for my waist size they were too short in the leg. If I bought them for my leg size they were way too big in the waist.
But that's how they work with those ones. Those ones work. There was one guy, he had a 28-inch waist and a 32-inch leg.
Yeah.
You can't get that in jeans. You can get it in suit at High and Mighty, but these guys make clothing for that specific.
There's also another place that do bigger clothing on the internet, Jacamo.com. I have ordered some stuff from there before and they're pretty good. I think they're mostly for people that are wider sort of thing, rather than tall and skinny, but the shoes on there are pretty good, and if you like baggy clothes like I do, then Giacomo are pretty good for that sort of thing. But what I will do later is I will Google some of this stuff, and I will get links to these online stores, and I will get the locations for these stores in Southampton, and I will post them on my Chronically Suki Facebook page, and I will also try and put them in the comments below this video on YouTube if YouTube allows me to do it, and if my phone allows me to do it. Sometimes my phone is a bit touchy with that sort of thing, but if you can't find it below this video on YouTube, do go over to Chronically Suki on Facebook and have a look on there, because I will post them links on there, because I think clothing definitely is a struggle when you've got marfan syndrome. I remember my poor mum going out of her mind trying to find school clothing that fit me correctly, and shoes that fit me correctly, for decent prices. And a lot of the time with the shoes, she couldn't find anything in my size, because I was an adult size shoe when I was a kid. I remember being something like 8 years old and I had a size 10 men's shoe, men's adult shoes, size 10. And so how do you find a pair of shoes in that size that would appeal to a child? Because being a child, I wanted to wear all the trainers and stuff that the other kids were wearing, but none of them would fit me. And if my mum bought me adult trainers, there then wasn't enough support in the arches or the ankle for my feet, and there wasn't enough room in there for my orthotics as well as my feet, because trainers sometimes can be very thin and very narrow, and I've got quite flat, wide feet, so it was quite tricky. So my mum ended up having to buy Dr. Martens in men's size 10, which were upwards of like 50 to 100, sometimes £200 if I wanted a pair with like the nice patterns on them, which most of the time my mum didn't mind spending extra on the ones with the pretty patterns on them, because she knew they would appeal to me better, and she knew that would at least go towards helping me blend in with the other kids and try and but obviously bullying was rampant with me, because I was very, very, very skinny and lanky with ginormous feet, and other kids obviously saw that and obviously pointed that out and obviously didn't understand it, so made fun of it instead, but that's kids for you. They don't understand, and they don't understand how other people feel. They don't really know about empathy, and it's not that they don't possess it, they just don't know how to use it yet. I think that's probably the best way to express it. But yeah, so clothing, definitely one I'm gonna look into. Hopefully maybe I can, when I get some of the products from these online stores, maybe I could do a review video for it. That would be a cool thing to do. So yeah, that's an idea. But yeah, today at the thing I got at the marfan meet, I got so many different ideas for videos, for video content and stuff. So hopefully I'll be putting some of that into practice on this channel. And my marfan awareness channel, I haven't really done any videos on that for a couple of years because I got too busy with the Chronically Suki channel, and obviously I've had a lot of medical issues, so I've been trying to focus on dealing with that. And also I've had, my mental health has gone right downhill, so I've been trying to sort that out and overcome that and get myself in a good mental place, because like I've said in other videos of mine, your mental health and physical health is connected. So if your mental health is low, it's going to affect your physical health, and if your physical health is low, that's going to bring you down mentally. So it's a balance, and I'm trying to balance it, and my health is slowly going downhill, and every time I fix one thing, another thing goes wrong. So then I've got to fix that thing and another thing goes wrong. It's just like, oh. And then of course I get put on different medications, so I have to adjust to those. I keep getting medications taken away, so then I have to adjust to life without those medications, and that can be difficult, especially with things like antidepressants. You know, it's not something you can just stop taking straight away, you know, and everything will be fine. You have to be weaned off it, and then that of course sends your mental health into a spiral for a bit until you mentally adjust again. And it's just been a battle with that really, so I haven't really had much time to keep 2 YouTube channels going, so I've just kept the Chronically Suki one going for the moment, because I can cover everything in that. You know, I can cover my mental health, my marfan syndrome, my fibromyalgia, my osteoarthritis, my learning difficulties and autism, and I can cover the day-to-day life of a person with disabilities and chronic illnesses, you know, and I can do it all in one rather than doing 2 or 3 with different, you know. So yeah, but yeah, this video is getting a bit long now, so I'm going to try and wrap it up. But yeah, so Marfan Trust, go to their website for all their info, and their website is www.marfantrust.com.